Okay, well, we are starting the recording of the Dubai experience, which also includes the bonus in Bahrain. All of those details are going to be covered this evening by Ernesto Verdugo, my co-host of this event, who is going to walk you through the entire experience because nobody knows the Middle East like this man. He is an original. He's one of the most traveled men in the world, documented, proven. I don't know how many countries he's been to, but too many to mention. Probably not North Korea. That isn't part of this tour on this particular occasion. Who knows how it'll open it up? But the man's been to Cuba. He's been all over the world. But today we're talking about Dubai and Bahrain. And I'm going to let Ernesto Verdugo, the man from Mexico City via Holland and America and Dubai, he's lived in 4 of these different countries, is going to take it from here. Ladies and gentlemen, Ernesto Verdugo.
Wow, what a great introduction. Thank you very
I
much,
had 2 cups
Mitch.
of coffee.
Thank you very much, Mitch. Well, hello everybody. It is a real pleasure to get started with our Dubai experience. Mitch and I are already packed. We're just about to leave. We're just finalizing all the details for this experience, and I hope that we are going to enlighten you on everything which is going to be happening throughout the 7 or 8 days that we're going to be together. So, once again, welcome to the Speak in Dubai experience. And I would like to say that your adventure starts here today. You have been getting ready for the trip. You have been uploading and putting all sorts of things together, and I tell you, it's going to be a great experience. So let me just start with the first thing that I think it's going to start making a big difference, because I want you guys to take into consideration that this is just not only a trip where you're going to go learn and you're going to go take some pictures and appear on the media and whatever, but also one of the things that I want you to start documenting from the moment that you get on the plane is that I want you to start documenting the entire trip. I mean, if you're on the plane, take yourself a selfie, and before takeoff, just put it there on social media. It doesn't matter where it is. It could be Snapchat, or it could be Facebook, or LinkedIn, or Twitter, whatever you want. Remember, you should document this whole thing on social media, because that's going to be also proof that you have spoken in Dubai, that you have done international speaking. And this, of course, is going to live later on the internet. So that is one of my
Ernesto, let me ask, should they hashtag this?
absolutely. Why not? We can just hashtag Speak in Dubai. That's a great comment, Mitch. So I think that's a super
So
great
speak in Dubai hashtag, is that what they want to put?
hashtag. Speak in Dubai. Speak in Dubai. I
Okay.
think that would be the best.
Thank you for that distinction. That's important.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic addition to the comment that I was just mentioning here. I want to also remind you that this entire week you should really be a social media paparazzi. You should take pictures not only of yourself, but take pictures with all the speakers, all the people that you're going to be meeting, all the situations. I mean, for example, you can take pictures when they're having the media shoots, when they're doing the interviews, when they are having the social time, when you're on top of the Burj Khalifa, everywhere, and make sure that it leaves online. Why? Because, of course, I mean, this is the way to get it documented. And, of course, it's going to be serving you well in the future. So this is just, I think, one of the fastest recommendations that I can let you have at this very moment. And I have to start with a fast disclaimer. We will not reveal the full program today, because I think we have to keep some surprises for ourselves, because of course, it's great that you get to know a lot of the things that we're going to be doing, the most important things, but I want to make sure that we hold some surprises for when we are there in Dubai. Are you all right with that? Is it okay with it if we just keep some
No,
surprises?
Dad, I want to know what's inside the present.
Yeah, exactly. No. We're going to keep some surprises for today. And I have to say,
Papito?
sorry?
Papito?
Yeah, I have to definitely say that this is the first time I become a sort of cruise director, and I am putting that picture on because it reminds me, I mean, now that I am putting all this event together and planning the hotels and planning this and planning that, I get to understand our good friend, Captain Lou Edwards from the Marketers Cruise. I mean, we have seen him a number of times organizing the cruise, organizing everybody, making sure that everybody's submitting their papers, their packing, their absolutely everything. And for the first time, I am actually experiencing this, and I think it is a hell of a job. So I have to give hats off for our friend Lou, because it's a lot of work, isn't it, Mitch?
Oh my gosh!
You've been working till.
Putting on a 1 or 2 day seminar when you're assembling all these elements and the travel that's going on, and 2 countries that we're covering. The logistics have been challenging and fun. I mean, we're working it all out, but understand we're dealing with a different country. It's a lot of work.
All sorts of. For me, the thing that affects me the most is the time difference, because that, of course, kills me. I mean, I have to sometimes just basically work until 3-4 o'clock in the morning, so that it is morning in Dubai, so that I will be able to talk to all the people that I need to talk.
Exactly.
So it's been very interesting. You've been doing also the same, basically arranging the media, and it has been a hell of a job. I think now I have a lot. I mean, I of course love Lou, but I mean, now I have a lot more respect for what he does, because he arranges these kind of things for a week for 400 people. Can you imagine that?
Yeah. Well, let me promise you something. Hair loss is about to follow.
Oh, don't tell me that. Okay, well, let me just get started with the moment that you're going to be boarding your flight. You are going to be having a 17-hour trip. For some of you, possibly it's the longest trip that you have ever experienced. It's a long trip, long trip. So I have some tips for you so that you will be able to make the most out of this time. First of all, obviously, I don't mind which airline you're going to be flying. You're going to have a chance to have some food, of course, watch a movie or two. But one of the things that I want to make sure that you do is, if you have not watched the trainings that we have done, Joe Bauer and Mitch and me and Joe Bauer by himself and me and Nikki and Candela, make sure to download them from the group and make sure to take them with you, because you're going to have plenty of time for you to watch this information. Also, possibly you can play a little bit around with your PowerPoint presentation, figure out how you have to convert from 4.3 to 16.9, and all these things which are very important for when you arrive to Dubai. Because when we arrive to Dubai, the schedule is very tight. I mean, this is not a vacation. We're going to be trying to make as much happen throughout this week as possible, so your time is going to be limited. So take advantage of the 17 hours that you're going to be having on the trip in order for you to be 100% ready and completely excited for the time that we arrive in Dubai. Now, one of the things that is going to happen is many of you might be suffering from jet lag. I tell you exactly how Mitch was saying. I am the 237th most traveled person in the world. I have been to North Korea, Mitch, by the way. Yes, I have. And I can tell you, I mean, I have over, and I have them logged. I have I am just reading here my logbook. I have 2,397 takeoffs and landings. And that is, I have gone around the world 7 times, so I know a thing or two of how to avoid jet lag. So I'm going to tell you my formula. I never experienced jet lag after following these steps. So please, if you follow these steps, I can guarantee you that you are not going to be experiencing jet lag, or possibly you're going to be experiencing a lot less jet lag than if you do not follow these 4 steps. So step number 1, the moment that you get into the plane in your city of departure, change the time to the time of Dubai. Don't wait until you get to Dubai to change the time. Change it immediately. Just the fact of actually making your brain aware that you are changing times already starts the process, and this works out as a benefit for you. This is a great tip that I got from one pilot from KLM, and I have been applying it ever since I learned that, and it works fantastically well. Point number two, I recommend you, and this is my recommendation. This is what I do. I am not a medical doctor. I am not. So I take every disclaimer on the book to say that this is something that I do, and I also recommend if you want to do this as a natural remedy, you can go to the vitamin shop and just buy yourself some sublingual drops of melatonin. Don't take the pill. The pill doesn't work. I have tried and it doesn't work. The drops work fantastically. You just go ahead and take about 8 or 9 drops of that, and you do it after you finish your meal on the plane. Take it on the plane, and then you'll sleep very nicely for about 4, 5, 6, 7 hours there on the plane. And that's going to help you be completely refreshed. Next tip that I want to give you is travel to the flight with an empty bottle of Evian water. And the reason why I recommend Evian water, doesn't have to be Evian water, but the reason why I like the bottle of Evian is because it's very sturdy, it's very hard. So it's not going to be damaged. Obviously, you cannot go through security with water, so take it empty. And then in most airports in North America, and I think around the world, they have already places where you can actually have water, or if not, buy a bottle of water inside of the air side of the airport, so that you can have it with you and you are in control of the water. Now, here's the challenge. You have to make sure that you drink the entire bottle of water. That's going to help you also tremendously. Next thing that you have to, and this is going to be when you land in Dubai. This is a very common thing that I see amateur travelers do. And what they do is, well, for me, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Or my time is 3 o'clock in the morning, and they keep on repeating that incantation to themselves throughout the whole week, and that's why they never adapt. There's nothing for me is. For you is the time that you're in from the moment that you arrived in Dubai. The moment that you land, that's going to be the time which is going to be there for you. And those are my 4 tips that will definitely help you avoid jet lag. Let me ask you, are there some good tips on there? I mean, do you think this is something that is going to be helping you? Yes, they are telling me.
I'll tell you, you've never shared the one about the time change. I knew about melatonin. I know you're supposed to flood yourself with water and not drink caffeine. One of the worst things you can do. I've only traveled to 54 countries and traveled around the world 3 times. And one of the things I've learned is I do not drink coffee on an airplane because it screws with my sleep. And I do drink nothing but water. And I tend to adjust better when I follow those steps. The melatonin, I think you told me about 8 years ago. And the time change idea is fantastic.
Yeah.
That gets your mind right.
Exactly. Fantastic. So now you are flying and you have already watched some movies. You have already watched Mitch and Joel and Nikki and myself, and you have worked on your presentation. Your battery on your laptop is gone. You have watched every movie. You possibly are watching the 2nd episode of Friends or the 3rd episode of Friends or the Big Bang Theory or whatever is going to be playing on the plane. And then you're just about to land in Dubai. You land in Dubai, and the moment that you land in Dubai, you're going to start seeing that there's luxury from the moment that you land in Dubai. It's one of the nicest airports in the world. It's really absolutely stunning. But it's very challenging because you're going to start having your first cultural shocks. And this is one of the things that I want you to be prepared for. So the moment that you get out of this luxury, you're going to walk a long passage. And after that long passage, you are going to hit Dubai immigration. And the moment that you get into Dubai immigration, I can tell you, it can be empty or it can be absolutely full depending on what time your flight is going to be arriving. And this is a very important tip that I'm going to give you. Now, if you see the airport here, this is exactly how it can look when it's busy. And what happens is that there's a ton of flights coming from Bangladesh. There's a ton of flights coming from all cities in Pakistan, in India, in lots of places with a lot of labor traffic. So there's a lot of people which are coming to work in all the buildings in Dubai and all the stuff which is being built in Dubai. And suddenly you're going to say, oh my goodness, what is this? So suddenly you're going to notice that there's some lines which are for, it's very weird. It's really weird. You're going to see some lines which are mainly with Europeans, and that's the line where you have to get yourself on, because if you get yourself into one of those lines where all the laborers are, it might take you up to 60 minutes to go through immigration. So please, the moment that you get there, keep an eye and try to find out what's going on so that you can actually get on the right line. Most of the time, these lanes are on the right, are on the left. They're all the lines for the labor traffic. Now, the moment that you get there into immigration, obviously, if you have an American passport or a European passport, you will just be coming in and out, absolutely no problem. They're going to ask you in which hotel you're going to be staying. But if you have a other passport, which is not from the European community, or it is not from the United States or Canada, then you will require a visa for Dubai. And I know that we have some people which are coming from Thailand. I think, I'm not sure if there's other people having other nationalities. So please, before you board your flight, I mean, you still have some time, make sure to check if you require a visa. That only applies for people that don't have an American passport, a Canadian passport, a New Zealand passport, an Australian passport, or a European community passport. So please, I warn you in advance. Now, how would you get a visa? Well, the best and easiest way to get a visa for Dubai, Mitch has now a contact. We have a contact that can help you, or if not, you can ask directly in the hotel that you're staying, and they will be able to give you a tourist visa. It's a lot better to get a tourist visa than to get a business visa, because a business visa, what will do is, they're going to ask you all sorts of questions. For the tourist visa, is not really a problem. They will give you a 14-day visa, so then it is not a problem. Now, here we go into the next step of what's going to happen. What happens if you get stuck inside immigration in Dubai? This can happen, and it can happen for a number of reasons. For example, if you have a name of somebody that has been the same name of somebody that has not been allowed to go into the UAE, and X, Y, Z, whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, you might have. The chances are very slim. But in case it happens, it has happened to me, so that's why I'm telling you this. If it happens to you, let me tell you what you need to do. Very simple. Just take out your phone and connect into your Wi-Fi. There's Wi-Fi everywhere in the airport in Dubai. Immediately go into the Facebook group, and inside the Facebook group, Mitch, myself, and Emma, and possibly Soraya, we are going to list our contact numbers. Plus, also, I will list my contact number in the United States, so that if you have any problem, you can text me that you're stuck, and we will do everything within our hands to get you out. This is not going to be a big deal. Basically, what they do is they take you, like they take you here in the United States, for secondary inspection, and they have you waiting there for a while. And it can take up to a couple of hours before everything is cleared. But of course, if you're there and you have no clue what the hell is going on, I prefer to let you know in advance, just in case this happens. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but it can actually happen. So you better be prepared. So all you need to do is connect to the Wi-Fi, go to the Speak in Dubai Facebook group, and our details are going to be listed there. I'm gonna, as soon as we 13th or 14th are there, I'm gonna pin that post there, so that you will have you will immediately get there. And just simply, the moment that you get there, everything goes fine. Just post also in the group that you are there in Dubai. That will let everybody else know that you're here, and then we can already know that that everything went fine. So is everybody clear in what's going to happen till we get into immigration? Is it going to be a Facebook message? Yeah, you can also send a Facebook message. No problem, Patty. Yes, absolutely. Preferably if you post it on the group. Also, well, you can also do it in WhatsApp, but we will just list anyway. You can contact us in WhatsApp or in Facebook or whatever. Just as long as you know that you have, a lifesaver that you can just throw, so that we will be able to do something for you on the outside, then that will be perfect. So everybody's clear so far. Yes, no, yes. The Downey, everybody saying yes. Okay, awesome. Any comments till now? Mitch, you have also gone through this process, so we're doing fine so far?
We're fine. I think we can move on.
Okay, perfect. So next tip that I'm going to give you is, as soon as you get out of immigration, what you're going to see is that there's going to be a Dubai duty-free on arrival hall. Now, why am I telling you this? Because if you like to have a nightcap, if you like to buy some alcohol, I recommend that you buy yourself a bottle of wine or whatever it is that you drink, so that you have there in the hotel. Alcohol is widely available in Dubai and it's not a problem. However, it is very expensive. Therefore, if you have a bottle of wine or whatever drink you have in the evening, you have a bottle with you, and then there is absolutely not a problem. You can just take it to the hotel, and then you're fine. Now, next to the duty free, what you're going to find is the money exchange, and this is a very important point. So, what you have to do is, I recommend that you exchange, let's say $300, $200. I think that's enough for what we're going to be doing. Possibly you can exchange a little bit more. You don't have to worry about, because Dubai is very fair on that. I mean, most of the places where you go to, the exchange rate is exactly the same. Even in the hotels, possibly in the hotels it's going to be a little bit less, but it's very similar. And what happens is that it is the currency in Dubai is the Arabian Arab Emirates dirham, or DHS dirham, and the equivalent is 350, 3 dirhams 50 for $1. So, for example, 100 dirhams is $27. You can just basically make a calculation from 3 and then add a little bit more, and then you will have a rough idea of how much prices are. So the worth is it is pegged to the dollar, and it hasn't changed in 19 years that I have been going to Dubai. So it is always anywhere between 350 and 355, 356. I've never seen it more expensive than that. So as soon as you have already your money, make sure that you have some money, because you're going to have to pay the taxi, and you're going to have to pay the next thing that I'm going to be telling you in one moment. Then you can go through, pick up your luggage, and then you get out of the airport. You get out of the secured area. As soon as you get out of the secured area, what I want you to do is look, and this is something that I recommend you to do in the airport. If you don't do it in the airport, doing it afterwards is going to be a lot more challenging. There's 2 telephone companies that that operate in Dubai. One of them is Du, the other one is Etisalat. I normally use Etisalat because I have been using Etisalat for 17 years. However, a lot of people tell me that Du is even better than Etisalat. So you can decide which one you want to use. And what I recommend also is that you bring a second phone. So you bring a dumb phone, or a phone that is capable of accepting calls abroad, that you can just change the SIM card. And then you can buy a package. They will give you a local number, and also there's data packages, so that you will be able to have a telephone with you, and also you will be able to check all the internet or whatever you need to do, whatever you have. It's a recommendation. Now, very important, if you didn't do it in the airport, we're not going to have to do it until day 3 or something like that. So make sure that you do it here, because if not, it's going to be very hard to do it until Tuesday, I think it is, that we're going to have the next chance for you to do it. And when we are doing the other activity, the last thing you want is to actually go to one other place with Etisalat and Du, which Mitch and I have experienced this. I mean, remember last time that we got a telephone in Etisalat, we were waiting close to an hour. So
yeah, it took a while.
Yeah, it took a while. So here in the airport, most likely you're not going to have to make a line. So before you get anything, before you get ready, just get your card, and then that's it. No, now you proceed on walking down the aisle, and then what you're going to see is the very end of the arrivals hall, and this is where you're going to have your first cultural shock. So I want to warn you in advance, especially if you're a single lady. You're going to be shocked after what you're going to be seeing. And why am I saying this? Because the moment that you arrive there, I mean, you see everything looks beautiful, and everything is very exciting, and everything is great. But if you remember, there were a ton of other people arriving that were coming from Bangladesh and Pakistan and India and all over the place. So the moment that you step out of the arrivals hall, this is exactly what you're going to see. You're going to go like, oh my God, where am I? What is this? What's going on? I tell you, it's most of the people that have been to Dubai, they always comment about this exact situation, especially if you arrive at night and you're a single lady and you're traveling on your own, this can be a little bit intimidating. Don't worry. Nothing happens, everything is fine and it's perfectly secure. But you need to understand that, of course, all these people are also welcoming their brother and their cousin and their nephew and everybody. So, of course, all of them are there, and it's a little bit shocking. So I was showing this to my wife the other day, and she was just laughing because, of course, she knows exactly that this is exactly how it goes. Now, you keep on walking in the same aisle, and then you're going to see that there's a taxi stand when there's a ton of taxis. So it doesn't matter at what time of the night you arrive, there's going to be a ton of taxis ready for you to pick up. So all you need to do is just get into a cab and just tell them that you are going to the Novotel Al Barsha or whichever hotel you're going to be staying. The price from the airport to the Novotel Al Barsha is going to be approximately 120 dirhams that you have to pay in cash. That's why I recommend you that you have cash. How much is 120 dirhams? I told you 100 is $27. 120 is going to end up being something like about $33. So that's what it's going to cost you if you take a taxi. Now, if you are a little bit more adventurous and you arrive at a decent hour, I am arriving in the middle of the night, so of course it will not be applicable for me. What I would recommend is that you actually grab the metro. The metro is just outside of the airport. You can just ask, well, where can I grab the metro? You just go out, and it's a one-way direction. You have to take the train direction, Jebel Ali. You can see it there. You can write it down. You can take the metro direction, Jebel Ali. And taking the Dubai Metro, it's one of the coolest experiences that you can imagine. I mean, it's a Disneyland monorail ride if you ride first class. And I recommend you to get your first class ticket, which is going to cost you 20 dirhams, which is about $6. And then it's great. I mean, you have Wi-Fi on the metro. You have a very nice first class seat. It's a great experience. Now, make sure that you get on the first class seat, because if you don't get on the first class seat and you get in the back of the bus, in the back of the train, then none of these amenities are going to be available. So for 20 dirhams, which is about $6, you will be able to go non-stop to Sharaf DG station. The hotel, the Novotel Al Barsha, is in Sharaf DG station. So just get out of the station and you can walk to the hotel. So either one of these alternatives is there for you. Now, let me just show you a map of Dubai so that you can see exactly how Dubai looks like. I keep on telling everybody whenever I'm explaining about Dubai, Dubai has the shape of an L. So you can see how it works. I'm just going to make the L there. So it's an L laying down. So as you can see at the very bottom of the screen, you have Dubai International Airport, right? Then you're going to go all the way up, and then you're going to cross that body of water. That's the Dubai Creek. And then you're going to get into downtown Dubai. And the first thing that you're going to see is the Burj Khalifa, which is the tallest building in the world. And then it will be around a 30-minute ride more or less, on one single street, which is called Sheikh Zayed Road. It's going to take you all the way to Al Barsha. And you're going to know that you're going to get close to Al Barsha because you're going to see a very funny looking building that is Ski Dubai. I'll show it to you in one moment. So the Novotel Al Barsha, it's very close to the Mall of the Emirates, to Ski Dubai. And it's just also, I mean, you will be able to see the Burj Dubai, sorry, the Burj Al Arab, which is over there in the other side of the street. And this is more or less how it's going to be working. So if you take the metro will first go into the one part of the L, and then will continue to go to the next part of the L. Now, there's three very important names that you need to know in your trip to the United Arab Emirates. First of all, at the very left, you see Sheikh Zayed. Sheikh Zayed was the father of the United Arab Emirates. So the road that you're going to be riding from the airport to the hotel is Sheikh Zayed Road, and this is the road that divides Dubai. So all the time you're going to be listening about Sheikh Zayed Road and Sheikh Zayed Road and Sheikh Zayed Road. So now you know who the road has been named after. The next person that we see there is Sheikh Khalifa, and Sheikh Khalifa is the ruler of Abu Dhabi. So now you might be wondering, well, why is the Burj Khalifa, called Khalifa, if this is from Abu Dhabi. Well, the Burj Khalifa, almost when it was finished building, they ran out of money, and then it was going to be a disaster. So Sheikh Khalifa told Sheikh Mohammed, which is the other person on the right, I will tell you about Sheikh Mohammed in a moment, said, well, don't worry, I will bail you out, and I'll make sure that tower is finished. And that's the reason why it's called Sheikh Khalifa. And just as a funny anecdote, what happened there was that the website was called Burj Dubai. That was the original name of the tower. So they had burjdubai.com. And then the instant they announced that it was going to be Burj Khalifa, somebody very clever that knew a little bit about domaining purchased burjkhalifa.com and made a killing on that website in just a few minutes. And that's just an anecdote that I just wanted to share with you. Anyway, the next person, the person on the right, is Sheikh Mohammed, and he is the ruler of Dubai. He is venerated almost to the level of a god in Dubai. You have to be incredibly respectful of him. We have had some speakers that have made some very stupid remarks, and you have to be incredibly respectful to either one of these people. Sheikh Zayed already passed, and
I want to jump in here, Ernesto, and press upon this point. And I know Verena is on the call, so she could chime in and comment in the box here. When you are in America, we can say whatever we want about our politicians. When you are in Thailand, which is a kingdom, it's a monarchy, and you are in the United Arab Emirates, it is a monarchy, you cannot freely run your mouth. You cannot. It is their country, it is an Islamic country, and if you say anything disparaging about one of its rulers, we can't help you.
Yeah, it is a very, very big thing, not a comment. I mean, everything has to be venerated, and it's understandable. I can tell you, because it's not only that it is a monarchy. I mean, these guys took sand to, I mean, they made it the biggest megapolis in the world, and that's very, very impressive. Now, one of the very, very interesting things that you're going to find in Dubai, the story of rag to riches, it's just a very common thing, because of course it's embedded, it's ingrained into their mentality, because these guys were Bedouins. I mean, they were people that were traveling through the desert, and they were just setting up their camps. In fact, I would recommend you to watch the film Lawrence of Arabia with Sir Laurence Olivier just before you go to Dubai, so that you can have an understanding of what is the size of that desert, and you can understand how the Bedouins used to live, and then you will have a better appreciation of how the entire city and the entire megapolis that you're going to see got created. So that's just another extra recommendation. Now, of course, as I was telling you, we are, I mean, even though that you're in a very modern city, just a few miles away, we are close to one of the biggest deserts in the world. So the climate, it's very harsh, very, very harsh. So you have to make sure that you stay hydrated. You have to always, at all times, no matter what, where we are, what we're doing, try to always have a bottle of water in your pocket. Why? Because what happens is, sometimes, I mean, Mitch, you remember last time you had to walk on the incandescent sun.
I think it was no more than 50 yards, and it was 125 degrees outside, and I had a headache that was unparalleled.
It was the middle of the day. It was something like around noon, so you can imagine the heat was at its worst. So you have to remember that whenever we're outside, make sure that you are hydrated. Make sure that you're close always to a bottle of water. That is a very important thing. So those are basically the logistics that I wanted to share with you in general about Dubai. And now let's start talking about our experience. So this is extremely exciting for Mitch and myself. This has been one of the most difficult things for us to arrange. I have only done one event for one of my speakers, and it was for David Bullock, who wrote Barack 2.0 just after Barack Obama was elected. So of course, I mean, we have the blessing of everybody and their mother, but arranging this was just incredibly difficult. First of all, This is the only 7-star hotel in the world. Now, as you can see in Google, the Jumeirah group has worked together with Google to actually share, and this is something that I recommend you to do. If you go to inside.jumeirah.com, you're going to see a 360 view of how everything looks inside. And the reason why Google provides this, it's because it's actually a privilege for people to go here. Just to get on the door and grab a cup of tea, it's $125. Just to go in. Just to go in, it's $125. We paid a fortune. We paid a fortune for having you guys inside the whole bloody day. We're going to be the whole day inside of the hotel. So I think this is something that should not be taken lightly. Mitch has not been able to go. He has been there a number of times. I have been there twice when it just opened.
This is my first visit.
Exactly. This is also your first visit.
Al Arab.
This is your first visit. So unless you're staying there and you're paying anywhere between $3,000 and $15,000 a night, and you're willing to spend $1,500 for a meal or whatever it is, you will not get there. So, I mean, I think this is one of the great privileges that we want to share with you, and this is just absolutely amazing. It is like entering through a fortress. So let me tell you, our experience is going to be starting on Sunday. I am not particularly proud that we are actually getting started on this because, of course, I mean, that was like the big highlight, one of the big highlights of the trip. And I would have liked to put it a little bit later. But what happened is that, and this is one of the things that you're going to be learning about Dubai, is there's some iconic places, and this is one of them, that it's constantly used by some of the sheikhs. There's not only one sheikh, there's a number of sheikhs. And we had already booked the room and everything was fine. And then suddenly one of the sheikhs decided to do a meeting also. And then they told us, well, don't worry about it. We will be able to conveniently set you into another date. This happened twice. So we had done already the program. Sorry?
Yeah, we got bumped twice.
Bumped twice by some of the sheikhs. Right now, I mean, of course, because they know that they have bumped us out twice, they're not going to bump us again. So now it is 100% secured. We have already paid and everything is there. So we are 100% secure that it's going to happen. So that is basically what happens. Well, I say 100% secure. I cross my fingers that no sheikh will come out, because even though they're just going to say conveniently you can go to another day, but I hope that it's not going to happen like that. So anyway, if everything is working fine, let me tell you what's going to happen. You arrive on the 14th and you're going to be starting in your hotel. And we are not starting the day, we are not starting the event in the hotel itself, which was the original plan, so that you will just arrive and everything will be cool, and then you just go back to the conference room and everything is there, because this starts on the Sunday, the 15th. So I need to be there in advance. Mitch needs to be there in advance. Joel needs to be there in advance. Everybody, all the faculty needs to be there in advance. So there you are, just in the hotel, not knowing what's going to be happening. Well, let me tell you what you have to do. You're going to have to grab a cab and ask them to get you to the Burj Al Arab Hotel. And we are going to have a meeting at 8:45 in the morning in the welcome center of the Burj Al Arab Hotel, which is just in front of the hotel. So you just grab a cab. It takes you there. It's about a 10-minute drive, 10-15-minute drive. Allocate 20, just because we cannot wait for anybody. The moment that you arrive there, you're going to see us there standing. I mean, there's going to be a ton of us standing. Well, I possibly will be already inside, but there will be possibly Mitch, or there will be possibly Emma or Soraya, or somebody's going to be there with the rest of the people, gathering the entire group. Then they're going to clear us. This is exactly as if we will be going through immigration and customs and everything, and everybody has to carry their passport. We will try to do this in advance. However, if it doesn't happen, make sure that you have your passport with you so that they let you go. Mind you, this is a smart casual day. You cannot be in shorts. You cannot be wearing sandals. You have to be dressing smart casual. This is a very high-end resort. and
The highest in the world.
the highest in the world. So you cannot just be wearing shorts and your Mickey Mouse T-shirt, because that's not going to be accepted. Probably they have all the right to refuse entrance. So make sure that you're dressed business casual. This is a very important thing. So everybody is clear with this, because this is just a very important thing. I mean, this is one of the things that makes me a little bit nervous. If we are inside, we're not going to be able to wait for anybody. 8:45, they're going to have us there. I do not know how the procedure is going to be, but the idea is that by 9 o'clock, we are inside of the gates. Then we're going to have to walk a bridge, and I'll show you a picture in a moment. We're going to have to walk a bridge. And the interesting thing about this building is that it's actually built, you have to walk through the water, so that it actually has its own laws. So the laws of the United Arab Emirates, the laws of any other country don't apply. They have their own laws. So that's why it's very funny. So we're going to be walking towards the entry. The moment that we get towards the entry, I have to tell you, of course, everybody's going to want to have pictures taken and whatever. It's fine. You can have pictures taken there while you're on the bridge and you're getting there closer to the entrance. And then the moment that you get into the entrance, you're going to see the beautiful lobby. They have a fantastic fountain and whatever. You can take some pictures there in the lobby. Don't just waste too much time on that thing. We will later on make sure that you have a chance to see as much as possible. But the idea is that we are on the conference room 9:15 latest, and we have to stick with the group, because there's going to be a chaperone which is going to chaperone us all the way in, all the way to the meeting hall. So is everybody clear on that? Because those things are very important. They have already warned me about 5 times. You should see the contract that they sent to us. I mean, it's 18 pages long with about font 8. And I had to read the whole thing because it was just incredibly scary. I didn't want to commit myself into something that we could not do. So everybody's ready for that? Everybody is clear on that? Yes, yes, no, no. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody's saying yes. Okay, awesome. Now, next step, as I was mentioning, our hotel is about 10 minutes away from the Burj Al Arab. So you can see here is our hotel, and the Burj Al Arab is actually just across the street. You have to cross Sheikh Zayed Road, which is a 5-lane on each side road. So it's a very big road, and then there's a few other things, and it's going to be there. So basically, you just have to. It's a 10-minute ride. It's a very, very short ride, and you will be there. So I think if you leave anywhere between 8:20 and 8:30, you'll be fine. Okay, so that is the important thing, that you make sure that by that day you are at 8:45. Okay, awesome. Let me just. I was just showing you this. Can you see that there's a bridge? Sorry, that there's a walking path there, so that they have their own laws. There. So we're going to be the entire day in the Burj Al Arab. We're going to have our media day, if I am correct, Mitch. That's going to be our media training, and I have to make a distinction on that because Mitch was telling me off the other day. Can you tell them a little bit what media training means, Mitch?
Well, we're going to go through how you are to. We're going to have Bonnie Bruderer, who's going to begin talking about her talk show. That she's a New York City talk show host and producer, and she's going to give her insights. Joel Bauer is going to cover how to be effective on camera from his perspective. The areas that Bonnie does not cover, he'll fill in. And then last, I'm going to cover how to be effective on radio, how to speak in sound bites. So exactly. Those are some of the elements we're going to be covering on that day, and we're going to go through the whole itinerary in our orientation on Sunday morning.
Yeah, you're also going to have a cultural orientation. On my behalf, I'll tell you everything and as much as I know about Dubai, about Islam, about the Middle East, so that you can just let all your ideas or prejudices away, because, of course, I'm going to explain to you exactly how it works. Now, at the end of the day, and this is one of the super cool experiences that we're going to be having, because, of course, they don't let us take that many pictures inside of the hotel, we will have the chance to take a ton of incredible pictures where we're going to go afterwards. There's going to be buggies taking us to a place called 360. It's called 360 because it's 360 degrees. It's a big circle. And over here, it's a fantastic lounge bar where there's going to be. I mean, you can smoke shisha, which is one of the things that I do very frequently. That's one of the places where you're going to find me. Whenever you cannot find me, I'm very sure somewhere where there's shisha, which is the water pipe. There's food. There's going to be drinks, and this one is our first OYO activity. What does OYO means? Well, that means on your own. It is 100% optional, but I recommend you to be there. And whatever it's consumed and whatever you want to drink or eat or whatever, it's on your own. We have already spent a fortune on having you the entire day inside of the Burj Al Arab, so that's why this activity is also OYO. We're going to be having some activities which are OYO also, and we will be letting you know which ones they are, so that you know which ones are included, which ones we're paying, and which ones are going to be paid.
During the orientation on Sunday.
Yeah, we're going to be covering that during the orientation on Sunday. Now, over here, most of the times whenever we finish an activity, we say, well, shall we get a bus? Shall we arrange for transportation? And in reality, everybody's on a different schedule. You might have a meeting, you might have something else, you might be tired, X, Y, or Z, you would like to hang out. So I think the best way to do it is just go back to the hotel whenever you want. You can just pay for your own transportation back to the hotel. Taxis in Dubai are incredibly cheap. You can also use Uber. In fact, Dubai is the only place in the world where they have Uber helicopter. Funny enough, although you don't really need to use Uber. I mean, you can just use the regular taxis, and all of them are metered. Nobody will take advantage of you. They're incredibly safe, so you don't have to be afraid, and everything is perfectly easily arranged. And then everybody's on the freedom to do whatever they want. I mean, if they want to hang out in the 360 lounge until late in the evening, that's fine. If you want to go back to the hotel, that's also fine. Whatever you want, so that you can have a little bit of freedom. Okay, and with that, we finish our Sunday, which is day number 1. Now, the next day, we are going to start on the Internet City. That's going to be our first event on the Internet City, our first day of training on the Internet City. We are incredibly grateful to how accommodating the Internet City has been with us. I am working in a couple of surprises that I don't want to reveal right now, but if it happens, it's going to be absolutely awesome. But so far, the Dubai Internet City has been awesome, and they are going to be providing us with our training room most of the time. So most of the training is going to happen on the Dubai Internet City, which is also very close to the Burj Al Arab Hotel, and also about a 15-minute, 10-minute taxi ride from our own hotel. Once again, you need to make it on your own to the Dubai Internet City. We will tell you exactly where it is and what you have to tell your taxi driver so that they can see you there. Obviously, Mitch and I have to be already on the training room waiting for you guys to arrive, and then of course you can just go at leisure. You can just arrive there. If you want, you can take some pictures there on the fountain of the Internet City, and it's a very interesting place for you guys to go and see. So on this day, we're going to be having our media day. And for this, I would like to get Mitch to come on board because he is the one responsible for this entire day. So, Mitch.
Well, yeah, I like I said earlier, I think this is what we're going to cover in our orientation, Ernesto. I want to go forward with our presentation tonight because
awesome. Just quickly run them on what's going to be happening here.
We're going to have, this is what we're arranging, and that's why I want to go through this in the orientation. It's going to cover potentially a day where we're going to have the outside media come and interview us, but I wanted to cover this in the orientation because it hasn't been nailed down perfectly until we have a commitment. So let's go ahead and move on.
Okay, perfect. So anyway, we one thing which is 100% nailed down for this day specifically is going to be the branding. Now, let me just tell you, we originally planned the branding, and we hired a photographer. We have a very good photographer to be there and spend, let's say, 10-15 minutes with each of us. But then I saw the video from Joel, and I say, wow, that's just absolutely brilliant. I was thinking, well, all you need for your personal branding is three shots, which is exactly what we have covered. So this is what we put there as part of the package. But then when I saw the video, I saw that Joel was recommending to also do your marketing poses. And then I said, this is just brilliant, because of course I don't have those poses. I want to make sure that now that we have the photographer, that we will be able to have those poses. So I arranged for the photographer to be there the entire day, so that you can take as many pictures as you want. You can change, you can do whatever you want, so that you can have your pictures, and then you can buy the pictures separately from the photographer. And I think that's just a great deal. I'm going to do it myself. How about you, Mitch? You're also going to be doing your marketing pictures.
Of course. Yeah, and I've had the luxury of many of these photos, but not all of them. And I do want, pose 18 I don't have. I think these are all useful to market yourself and your services when you have all of this done. And now I've done some of this in Joel's training, but not to this degree where I have multiple changes of clothes, which is something we recommend, is on this day, on media day, you want to have a couple changes of your clothing, because you may want to have different pictures for different images that you want to communicate based on the audience you're speaking to in the future.
Exactly. So don't bring your entire garderobe and just have take the time for everybody.
Your wardrobe is something a couple people may want to have multiple photos, since we do have a world-class photographer taking these pictures.
Exactly. Fantastic. Okay, next point, and this is something that he has brought on our attention, and I never thought of it. I'm not a lady. We're guys, but actually,
well, and it's just a reality, because as men, even with my years in television, it took 1 minute to apply a little powder. That's just for the glisten. Women are more particular, and they have more hair than some men, present company included. So this is something that Bonnie asked us about, and it's going to be available for the ladies that want that. Or maybe if some men do, I don't know.
Exactly. So we might have it available. I don't want to commit myself to it, but we're doing everything possible so that we will have somebody to help you with the makeup and possibly the hair. That's as much as I can promise. Emma is already working on it, and we hope that it will be arranged for our next time. It will definitely be arranged, because now we know. Now, next thing, which is a question that everybody asks me: are we gonna have time for shopping? And the answer is yes. On this day, what we're going to do is, as soon as we finish on the Internet City, we are going to head towards the Dubai, to the Emirates Mall, which is the building which is on the left. It's one of the most beautiful malls in the UAE. I mean, it's just full of malls. I mean, Dubai is full of malls. But as you can see, there is that very strangely shaped building, which is Ski Dubai. And what we're going to be doing is we are going to go in the evening and hang out in Apres, which is a very nice ski resort, bar and restaurant, where we're going to be there. It's also completely optional. We're going to be there. Whoever wants to go can go there. It's on your own. It's a OYO experience. And because, of course, we are in the mall itself, you can be there hanging out with us and having fun, or you can go shopping. Shopping is open until midnight, so you will have plenty of time to do some shopping. This is going to be your first opportunity of shopping. But because, of course, I want to make sure that you see this other mall, we are also going to take you to the Dubai Mall, which is the biggest shopping mall in the world. And it is impressive. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. Mitch and I were there with my son Vincent, and it's insane. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. And it happens to be exactly next to the Burj Khalifa, which we are going to be also visiting, and which we have already purchased entrances to go into the Burj Khalifa. So that will be happening on our third day, which will be our it will be our cultural day. That will be on Tuesday. We have a surprise in the morning, and then we are going to be on the road almost the entire day. I will not tell you what's going to be happening, because, of course, I want to keep it as a secret. All you know is that we are going to go to the mall, and we're also going to go to the Burj Khalifa. Now, that takes us to day number 4. Day number 4, we're going to have our practice and business day. So we have, in the morning, we're going to be practicing our presentations. We're going to be talking about how it needs to be done, all the logistics, everything that's going to happen. And then in the afternoon, we have a training, which is going to be also a surprise. I will not reveal how much what is going to be happening, but we are going to be sharing the room with some of the biggest movers and shakers of Dubai. So we are bringing all the people, all the important people that I know, that we know from Dubai. Also, some of our strategic partners are bringing some of the movers and shakers, so that you'll have the chance to spend some time with them. After, in the evening, we're going to have another activity, a networking activity, so that you can have the chance to also mingle with people that live in Dubai. And I think this is a very important thing, because then you will start understanding the vibrant spirit of Dubai. Now, that will take us to day number 5, and that's going to be our International Experts Forum, the day that we are preparing so hard for. It was interesting. I was talking to Joel yesterday or a couple of days ago, and he was telling me, well, you know, I mean, I have to agree that the most difficult talk for a speaker is a 5-minute talk, a 7-minute talk, because you really have to focus yourself. So this is a I mean, you're basically being thrown to the water. I mean, you possibly don't have that much experience, and then suddenly you're going to be thrown in an environment that you're going to have to perform for 5 or 7 minutes, and that is going to be hard. So that's why preparation is absolutely critical. And we have to make sure that you nailed it, so that when you go on stage, you will look fantastic on your demo reel. Because this demo reel is...
Yeah, let me jump in here. Let me jump in here, Ernesto. What's particularly important, guys, is you practiced. In lieu of watching movies on the airplane, we have done ample trainings. Practice, practice, practice. All of you need to have your presentation practiced at least 50 times in your head. Talk to yourself, record yourself when you're on the airplane beforehand, so you are perfect. It'll go off flawlessly when you have practiced this 5 minutes. And if you go over 5 minutes, not a problem. And you can go up to 7 minutes the day of on day 5 as promised. The reason we are focused on 5 minutes is because you must adhere to that time frame when we're in Bahrain, which we'll get to. But it's super, super important that you're on point and well practiced, and it'll show. And the reason I say this, and why we're saying it with such intensity, and Ernesto made his point, and I need to chime in here with the importance, is because there are no redos. This is not a recorded session. You will be recorded, but you can't say, hey, can I start again? Not available, because everybody is going to be behind you, and we have a finite time in this room that we have rented.
Exactly. So I just want to share with you that the original plan, as I have done in many of my other events, was that the forum, or the International Experts Forum that we're putting up in Dubai, was going to take place in the auditorium of the DIC. You're going to see these 3 letters very frequently, so that you know what it is now. It's Dubai Internet City. DIC is Dubai Internet City. So the auditorium of the DIC, it's under renovation, unfortunately. So we have booked it, and then they said, well, sorry, we have to cancel, because we're going to be changing whatever they're going to be changing. And so for this time, we are not going to be having the event in the auditorium. We are going to be having the event in a smaller auditorium that is called the Al Thuraya Hall. This is not a very nice picture of it, but it's also very nice. I mean, it's also really nice because it has the logo of the Dubai Internet City behind. And it is not as impressive as the auditorium, but it will serve the purpose fantastically and perfectly. So it's not a problem.
It's still very nice.
Yeah, it's still a very nice. It's a very nice auditorium, but it's not, of course, as nice as it would have been to be in the other one. But we have a surprise a little bit afterwards, which of course it's going to make up for this. Now, very important thing: you are only allowed to use PowerPoint. We have been seeing one post or two that were asking me, and also a couple of messages that they have asked me, well, you know, I would like to use Keynote, or I would like to use...
Not allowed.
Not allowed. It's absolutely not allowed. It needs to be PowerPoint, and you can tell them why, Mitch.
Well, here's the reason. I have been a Mac user for over 5 years. I still use PowerPoint, and as a speaker of 25 plus years on stages, you know, I went back to the overheads, overhead transparencies. PowerPoint is the standard. Using a PC is standard. It must play on a PC. I'm making my presentation to accommodate a PC. I am doing the exact same as you. And the reason we're using PowerPoint is because it's standardized. Many of us are Mac users. I'll never give up my Mac, but I will never give up PowerPoint. Keynote is loaded on my Mac. I don't use it because the problem with conflict is too risky. It is way too risky in environments where there are multiple speakers.
Exactly.
Now, we also want to press on the point here. When we go the day before, all of you on the Wednesday, the 18th, in the morning, we are going to accept your presentation from you on a memory stick only. You cannot email it to me. You can't say, hey, download it from the internet. Reject it. Get yourself a memory stick in advance. Hand it to me or Ernesto. We're going to have one computer that's going to house every presentation. If you have video in your presentation, make sure those files are there because we're going to import it. We will test it all on Wednesday before we go live on Thursday, but you cannot, please don't say, hey, can you download it for me? No. The answer is no. We cannot. It must be in PowerPoint, and it must be readable, and it's all going to play because of our tight time frame. We have 1 minute between speakers. We're going to trade headsets, and I have invested in the best quality headsets money can buy, where you're going to wear I have 3 of them. So everybody will be properly mic'd, ready to go, and your PowerPoint will be ready to go. When Joel finishes his presentation, it'll slip right to Patty Alfonso as an example. She'll be good to go. The clicker will change hands, and she's up. She'll be introduced. She's up. When she finishes, she comes back. The next person is on deck. Think of a baseball team. You're in the lineup. You are on deck. You're the next up, and it's got to be precision because we are talking 5-minute presentations. Critical that we're going to go over this in the orientation. We're going to go over it in detail on Wednesday, but I need to get you in the mindset, and this is critical that you adhere to our way. There is no way we can play Keynote.
Yeah, exactly. Another point that I want to remind you of, I recommend you that you have both presentations. You have 4:3 and you have 16:9. Exactly the same presentation in both formats. And as soon as we know how the lumens and everything of the projectors are, then we will know which one we will use. Whenever I go do a speech, I always have both prepared so that then I know which one I will be using. It needs to be the exact same presentation, but it needs to be one in 16:9 and one in 4:3. So if we say
one more thing, Ernesto, I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's critical. We learned this when we did a presentation together. Standard fonts only.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that. Standard fonts only. Do not use any custom fonts because it'll distort your presentation and it'll have to be fixed. Use standard fonts only, please. Please, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And we were saying we will just check. For example, if we say the format is going to be 4:3, then you have to give me your 4:3 presentation. Don't give me both presentations because it's going to be too confusing. And then it looks very awkward if you actually put it in the wrong format. So please make sure that you have both. And then when we decide, you delete the other presentation from that memory stick so that you only provide us with the one that we're going to be using. Okay. So next point, once again, we have already mentioned it, and I think that we're going to be mentioning this a number of different times. Timing is critical. Please practice. Yes. Now, there's a reason, not only that the practice is very important. I have to tell you very important information. First of all, the auditorium is going to be full. We have already over 300 people invited. In Dubai, we're going to have 2 sessions. One is going to run in the morning, then because of course we wanted to accommodate more people in Dubai. So one is going to run from 9 till 9 till 1, and then the other one is going to be from 2 to 6. So we're going to have 2 sessions, 2 separate sessions. So please make sure that, we are going to be working on the lineup, and we will actually decide who's going to be where at what spot, because of course, as these people are coming in for free, there's nothing that are, stopping them from leaving. And of course, we don't want an empty audience because we have a bad speaker. So we're going to be making sure that we accommodate everybody as we know how they should be accommodating, to make sure that the audience remains with us as much time as possible. So one suggestion that Mitch was saying is, please make sure that you don't come and tell us, well, I would like to speak at this time, or I would like to, can you change me because I want to be after my friend, or I would like to do it in the morning because we will. Yeah, that's not going to happen, because of course we are under very tight schedule, and we have to make sure that the audience remain with us, because we want the videos to be always full with people. That's, for us, is very important. Okay, is that clear? That's an important.
Oh, and let me make a comment here, Ernesto.
Yeah.
This one we didn't talk about yesterday. We put this together. Super important. If the audience, for whatever reason, we have no control over this, if the audience leaves and there are spaces in the audience, immediately go and fill in to support your fellow speaker, so we look full. Very important, if that is to happen. We hope not. You just can never anticipate this.
Exactly. Yeah, that's something which is not in our control. So we're going to be 45 people. We're going to have to see. I mean, we are not 100% sure how it is going to be. I mean, if it will be the auditorium, which is the auditorium from the Internet City, I will know exactly how it all works. But over there, Mitch and I are going to figure out exactly the best way to allocate the seats so that on video everything looks full. That's the important thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Super. Okay, so after we finish this, we're also going to have another nice a nice activity happening. I will not tell you because that's part of the surprises. And then that takes us to day number 6, which we are traveling and training in Bahrain. So if you have purchased your ticket to fly on the same flight with all of us with Cathay Pacific at 7:40 in the morning, that's great. If you haven't, it's fine. You can just either try to meet us there in the airport if you're flying at a closer time or something like that. And if not, just get out of the airport and grab a cab to the Elite Residence Hotel. So that is all we need to say about that. Now, this is just
Residence Hotel, because there were still people asking me the name of the hotel on the Facebook group.
Yeah, Elite, you can write it down, Elite Residence Hotel, and the area where it is in Bahrain, it's called SEEF, S-E-E-F, SEEF, so it is in SEEF. Okay, super. All right, so now we land in Bahrain, and I know this story of the visa has been a pain in the rear. But I just want to make sure that I clarify it. I mean, Bahrain, it will be possible for you to go into Bahrain. But last time that we did a multi-speaker event in Bahrain, you can tell them what happened, Mitch, because it was just...
Yeah, well, one of the speakers claimed he was from Spain. He claimed that he was a Spanish citizen and lived in Spain for a number of years. Well, unbeknownst to us, when we arrived in Bahrain, and it was late at night, we were tired after speaking in Dubai. It was this is about 3-4 years ago, I think, and we find out he's from Venezuela. He's got a Venezuelan passport. Now, any of you who know about world politics, Venezuela is a tumultuous environment right now in terms of its politics and what's going on there. And he was one of our speakers. I think there were about 12 or 15 of us as speakers. We had to wait for him because he didn't tell the truth where he was from. And he got held up. And our host, Ali, had to pull some major strings to get him cleared. He lied. He said he was from Spain, and he wasn't. He was a Venezuelan with a Venezuelan passport. Exactly. So if you're not from one of the countries, I mean, we think most of the people are from America, the UK, or Canada.
But we have no clue what passport they have.
Exactly. So if you don't have a passport that is friendly to Bahrain, and you have to do your own research online, tell us so we can know in advance. That's the reason Ernesto urged you to get your passport handled, your immigration handled, your visa handled in advance before going to Bahrain, so there aren't any holdups at the airport.
Exactly. Now, if you have a U.S. passport, or if you have a 95% chances that you're going to go fine, absolutely no problem. I think the only reason why they can possibly stop you is because you have some stamps in your passports for Israel or whatever. I mean, I don't know, but it doesn't matter.
Good point. Let me press on that. When I went to Lebanon if and they made a very clear statement, if you have a stamp from Israel, you will not be admitted to the country. So if you've gone to Israel, you may want to hide that. So, well, you may need a different passport quickly.
I don't think Israel stamps anymore. But I mean, they ask you, and they say.
I'm talking about in the past. In the past,
yeah,
they
yeah,
don't pass.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, but right now, Israel, because of knowing this reason, you actually have to ask people in Israel to actually stamp your passport. So I doubt this will be the case, but we just want to make sure that everything is clear. 95% of the chances, everything is going to be fine. Even if your visa is not ready, you can arrive there. They will give you a visa on arrival. You're going to have to pay for it. Everybody of us, every single foreigner. It's just a way to make money. I mean, it just doesn't really make sense.
It's a revenue stream.
It's a revenue stream, and that's what it is. That's all it is. So don't worry too much about it. There's not really too many concerns. Hopefully you have your visa, because then you will also go faster. If you don't have the visa and it's the first time that you're going to Bahrain, it's going to take you a little bit longer to get out. But I mean, I don't think that you will have any problem. So don't worry about it.
Man, it's still very fast. It was very efficient when we went there last time.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, now that we're out, we are going to be taken. I mean, Ali is going to be there. Ali is going to be there waiting for us, or somebody from the social media club. Our partners there in Bahrain are the social media club and a company called. What's the name of the company? It's called Legend. And these guys are going to be taking us to the hotel. So we're going to arrive to the Elite Residence Hotel in Bahrain, and we're going to arrive there for breakfast. Obviously, breakfast, it's included in on the rate, but it's not included for the day that we arrive, because of course we haven't slept there. So you can just pay your breakfast, have a nice breakfast, and then we can hang out in the pool for a few hours. The rooms are not going to be ready because, of course, check-in it's until noon or something like that. But they're going to provide us at least with one room, so if you want to get changed. But there's also cabanas, and there's also different places where you can get changed. It's going to be a beautiful morning, so we can just be hanging out there in the pool, enjoying ourselves, having a good time, chilling until lunchtime. Then we're going to have lunch, and then we are going to go into the training room, where we are going to be having a couple of other trainings and a little bit more of classroom time, also with one very nice surprise that we're having over there in Bahrain. Then I have an event, and I have a couple of things which have been already set for me and for a couple of other of our speakers. Nobody else. I mean, it's just me, because it's a paid event that they're paying me to be there. So of course I would love to bring you, but I can't. It's just me. Mitch is going to be there.
I'll be taking the group. We'll go. We have a surprise experience.
Exactly. So we're going to be having a good time, and that's fine. I'm just sorry that I'm going to be missing it. So we will have an early night, because the next day we are going to be having our second speaking event in the Applied Science University in Bahrain. Now, this is a big deal. I mean, big deal. Why? Because this is the equivalent of MIT in the Middle East. I mean, the fact that you're speaking, and this is not, you're not going to be speaking in the restaurant of the university or any of that crap.
Oh, like that, yeah, that program that somebody sold.
Yeah, that happens around. I mean, you're going to be speaking really in the university. So you can also claim that you have spoken in the Applied Science University of Bahrain. Now, the great thing, and this is one of the things that I want to share with you, is that our partner, Ali Sapkar, which is a guy that I love to bits, because he's just absolutely amazing. I mean, the stunts that he pulls are amazing. Like, getting this guy from Venezuela out of customs just because, of course, he happens to know the minister of whatever it is, because everything is there with ministers. And as I was telling you, is the social media club. He's the president of the social club MENA. The social media club it's huge. I mean, if you've never heard of it, just Google. It's a huge organization based in San Francisco, and they have chapters all over the world. And it's just a very interesting organization that you're going to be learning about there in Bahrain. But also, he's very well connected with many officials in the government. So there's a high possibility. It's still not confirmed, but there's a high possibility that the government of Bahrain is going to be involved in this event, which of course makes it even more official. Now, if this happens, then it's going to be great because we're going to have so much media coverage, which is just going to be insane. Now, we cannot confirm this because, of course, Ali is still in negotiations with the government of the Kingdom of Bahrain. Now, one of the things which hopefully will happen, I mean, I can tell you, it's one of the nicest experiences that you can imagine because nowhere else in the world this can happen. I mean, it can happen in Bahrain because, I mean, it's a very small island. But of course, it's a very wealthy island. It is the equivalent of Switzerland in the Middle East. Then of course you will have some sort of sheikh which is going to be there, and he will be directly appointed by somebody which is appointed by, I do not know exactly how it's going to be working, but it's going to be directly appointed by His Majesty King Hamad of Bahrain. Now, if you think I'm kidding, let me just show you the next picture. This is Prince Abdullah bin Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa, which is the second in row to the crown of the Kingdom of Bahrain, and he is giving me here an award for one of my speaking gigs in Bahrain. So if the protocol goes there's going to be national anthem and the whole thing's going to be happening. Really awesome. I cannot promise you that it's going to happen because it's not 100% confirmed, but in the case that's going to happen, everything is going to be very, very protocolarian, and the protocol needs to be followed to the dot. So we have to be very, very well behaved, in our best behavior, not messing around, properly dressed, everything, because we have to be perceived as professionals. That's a very important thing. Now, once again, Bahrain, it's absolutely a fantastic place. You're going to also love it. As I was telling you, it's the Switzerland of the Middle East. In fact, after 17 years, no, actually it's more. 18 years that I have been going back and forth to the Middle East and living in the Middle East. If you will ask me, where would you like to live? Would you like to live in Dubai or would you like to live in Bahrain? My answer will continue to be in Bahrain. Why? Because it is a lot more authentic. Dubai, when we took John Carlton, the best copywriter in the world, or however you want to call him, he said to me, you know what, I love Dubai, but it's very Disney-esque. Bear in mind, I mean, it was created out of nothing, so it just has a very Disney-esque kind of environment. You feel, in many places, you feel like if you're in Disney. But Bahrain, it's totally authentic. You will see completely different. One of the biggest differences that you will see between Dubai and Bahrain is that in Bahrain, there are Bahrainis. Sounds like a joke, but in the UAE, only 17% of the population are Emiratis. 83% of the people are expatriates. But here, it's the real Middle East. What you're going to experience in Bahrain, it's a complete different experience. Now, that brings me to another very important part of this session, which is you need to learn this word. This word is very important. Inshallah. Inshallah means God willing. And now that might sound very nice, but the thing is,
or if it's God's will, it'll happen.
Yeah, hopefully God's wills will happen. So what happens is that, I mean, with all due respect to the culture, I mean, they blame everything in Allah. So, for example, you say, "Can I have my meal?" Inshallah. No, please bring it to me. Don't leave it to. I need to make sure that it happens. So this is something very, very common. So one of the things that I've noticed is that not everybody, but I have noticed a couple of people that have sent me some messages asking me, and then they say, well, how come this is not 100% planned, and how come this is not finished? And, you know, this is the land where everything happens last minute. Everything miraculously always happens. I mean, one way or the other, but you have to call 3-4 people. You're going to see Mitch and I and Emma. We're going to be busy all the time making sure that the next step is going to be properly arranged, because they just basically say, inshallah. Well, is this ready? Have we already? Inshallah. And then, of course, I mean, you go like, oh my God, I mean, we have to make sure that this is arranged. And because, of course, we are not inshallah time, then things change all the time. And that is something that you need to take into consideration. So it's a country where everything happens last minutes. We can have a program, a perfectly designed agenda and everything. And then suddenly it changes last minute. So I don't want you guys to think that we have been disorganized. Trust me, We have, I mean, how many times, Mitch, have we gone through the program almost on a minute basis? I mean, we know every single thing
We've
which
had
is
so
going to be
many
happening.
changes because of this is not America. This is
Exactly.
not America. This isn't Europe. This isn't Australia. This is the Middle East. It's a different world.
Exactly.
Different world.
So what's going to happen is suddenly you're going to say, well, you know, I mean, we have planned this, but we have to change because this happened. So this is a very important thing for you to take into consideration.
Also, fluid and go with the flow.
Yeah, just go with the flow. Just enjoy and relax and enjoy. That's the only thing that I can tell you, because things are going to change. Things are going to be different. And no matter how well planned, but we have, of course, because of course we know this, we have set up 6-7 different contingency plans. If something gets changed, we have contingency plans to make sure that something happens and it happens correctly. So also, one of the things that happens in Bahrain and in Dubai, there's always different rules. This is the world of ever-changing rules. We say, well, you know, this has to be like this. Suddenly there's a rule. I mean, for example, last day or 2 days ago, we said, well, now we have to submit all these pictures. Well, why didn't they tell us that in advance? Well, because we knew it exactly 5 minutes before we communicated to you. Or, for example, they're going to say, well, you know, now there's a new rule that you have to pay for this, or you have to do that, or you have to do the other. Every single moment that we are there, rules are changed. So new rule, please be open to new rules, because that's going to be happening guaranteed. So in other words, what I am asking you is, if you're going to be in the Middle East, you need to be flexible. Please don't come and say, well, this was, I mean, start criticizing because something was not properly organized or whatever. Trust me, Mitch and I and Emma, we have gone through every possible scenario. But then there's always something that might go wrong, and we have to make sure we have contingency plans. But these changes happen all the time, so I want you to be as flexible as possible. So, is it okay? Can we just agree to that, because that's very important for us? Yes, yes. Yeah, can we see some yeses on the? I see. Okay, yes, I see Inger. Flexibility is the word. Okay, awesome. Now, I want you to understand a little bit the Middle East and why it's wrong to think of the Middle East as the Middle East. First of all, the Middle East is divided in four different parts, 4 or 5 different parts. First of all, we're going to have Persia, which is going to be Iran, and that is a complete different world. They speak Farsi. It's a complete different story. Then we will have the Gulf, which is Arabic. Both of them have been influenced by the Brits, so you're going to see a ton of British influence. They don't drive on the right, but they ride as in the United States. But there's a ton of things which are influenced by the Brits. In fact, you're going to see a lot of the people there are British. Then, if we go a little bit further up, direction Syria, where you see the flag, the red flag with the crescent and the star, that is the Turkish flag, and that area is called the Levant. So we have Persia, then we have the Gulf, which is the Arabic Gulf, which and then we have the Levant. The Levant, that is Syria, that is Lebanon, that is all those countries which Jordan, all those countries which are on that side that border with Turkey. Then we have North Africa, where we're going to Eastern Africa, where we're going to have Egypt and Sudan, which is of course also British influence. Then we have Libya, which is Italian influence. Then we have Algeria, which is French influence, and then we have Morocco. The combination of those 3 countries is called the Maghreb. So why am I telling you this? Because a lot of you say, well, I'm going to the Middle East, and I'm sure that you have asked somebody in your family, and they say, oh my goodness, that's very dangerous. Well, the thing is, it depends on where you're going. I mean, the only places that are in conflict right now the Levant is in conflict. Okay, we have some conflict in Sudan. We have some conflict in Northern Africa, which is very far away. There's a little bit of conflict in Libya and in Algeria, but that's just limited. But where we are, it's just the safest place in the world. So whenever you're thinking of the Middle East, it's like saying, well, you know, I'm going to think of America as one continent. I always keep on saying I was born in Mexico, but I am also American. I mean, you call it the United States of America, but Mexico is also in America. Canada is also in America. Chile is in America. Brazil is in America, so that's the way that you have to think of, and that's an important thing, so that you don't be afraid of actually coming to the Middle East. Where we're going is a completely safe place. Now, as you can see, because of all the influences from all these different cultures, one of the things that I have learned in my life, and I had the chance to be specifically personally trained, because I used to work for KLM Royal Dutch Airlines. You're going to see, well, how come somebody that was born in Mexico suddenly has a Dutch passport and was living in Dubai? It doesn't make sense. Well, very simple. I was the first non-Dutch person to work for KLM Royal Dutch Airlines in their head office. And I was going to be taking care of the Latin American and Spanish portion of the airline. But what happens? Suddenly, the economy in Latin America went to the drain, and then they say, well, we have a single guy here. What are we going to do? Well, let's send them to the Middle East. It was just after the first Gulf War. So I was there on my own. So I had to be trained by Frans Trompenaars. Frans Trompenaars is a Dutch guy, which is an expert in culture. So I have had the opportunity to work with people from over 58 different nationalities in more than 120 countries. So I know a thing or two about cultures. And I tell you, the Middle East is absolutely fascinating, but you need to come to that part of the world with a complete white canvas, so that you can take away all the bull that you have heard about the Middle East, and then you start creating your own single experiences. So one of the things that I want to ask you is, please leave all your prejudices behind, because the prejudices are not going to let you enjoy fully this experience. So once again, please, you need to always have an open mind. This is a very important thing. Now, one more thing that I want to share, and this is on this one, please, Mitch, help me on this, because this is also very important. Ego.
Yeah.
It's another thing which is going to be ruining your experience and the experience of others.
Well, and this factors into being flexible, because you're going to be comparing what your experience has been with seminar promoters, and maybe you're a seminar promoter yourself, how it works in America, how it works in Australia, the UK, or Europe. All of those experiences are your experiences, and I'm going to ask you, and Ernesto's asking you to leave them behind, because this is a different world. I was in shock when I went there the first time. I was in shock the first time I spoke in Thailand. I was in shock when I went to this country and that country. So we're going to ask you to be open-minded, teachable, leave your ego at home, because there are only two alphas at this event. It's Ernesto and I. We're in charge. You are there to experience what we are providing you. Be open-minded, leave your ego at home, because it's not going to be your amigo there. We're going to give you the best experience possible and allow us to guide you. Your experiences of the past are relevant when you return home. While you're there, it is incredibly important for you to check your ego at the door. Any negativity, we're not going to listen to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And we don't want to be criticized, because you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So if you want to criticize us, wait till the event is over. While we're there, I will not listen to any negativity.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a very good point, because I mean, I was talking to Rhonda the other day, and we were saying, well, we're going to be for 7 days with 50 alpha people.
Yeah, we're the ones in charge. That's just how it is.
Yeah, that's just how it is.
Just a bunch of chiefs. But while we're there, Ernesto and I are your chiefs.
Just relax and enjoy. That's the most important thing. Relax and enjoy and have a good time. And for once, let yourself be guided. I think that's a very important thing.
Yeah, and no negativity. Any whiners, I'm going to be checking you. We do not want negativity. If you've got any complaining, do it on the evaluation at the end. Do not say anything negative while we're there, please. I'm asking you in advance.
Or behind the scenes or whatever. I mean, it is
nothing.
We
are just an energy suck. I don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
I can't stand it when people criticize when they don't understand.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's very challenging. The environment where we're going, it's very challenging. And we have set up every single thing to work fine, but guaranteed things are going to change. They're going to be different. They're going to be whatever. So remember, we are in the land of inshallah. Will everything go smooth?
Yeah.
Inshallah. Now you learn the use, right? It's not
Yeah.
everything is going to go smooth. Guaranteed.
This is not America. This is not United States of America. And if you have been to Mexico, you know it's a different world. If you've been to Brazil, it's a different world. Every place has a unique area, so please keep your comments till the end.
But rest assured that, I think there's few people that know Dubai as I do. Outside of Dubai, obviously. I mean, there's a few people that know Bahrain as Ali does and myself do. So you're in very good hands. We're going to really take care of you. We're going to be watching every single thing so that you have the most amazing experience, that you come back and you say, wow, I've never seen anything like this. But you have to rest assured that there's going to be some things which are not going to go 100% smooth. Why? Because
and just be flexible. We're going to support you. We are there to support you. That's why we've offered all these pre-trainings to ensure your success. We're going to have time to train you there to make you completely comfortable when you commit to your presentations. You'll also be trained for the media. You're going to have that opportunity. We've arranged first-class photography. We've got videographers there. We've got a filmmaker that's included in the package that you'll meet in the orientation. We're super excited. We've gone way overboard in terms of what we're going to deliver.
Another very important. Finish, Mitch. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we have put our heart and souls in this. Ernesto and I have worked on this since December of 2015. December is when we started the planning, and we have been in full production mode since then. Exactly. And we're going to give you the best experience possible. No one has done this like we're going to do it, and that's why we wanted to have the kickoff at the Burj Al Arab, which I'm excited about because I've never been there, and I've been to Dubai multiple times, 4 different times, and this is, I think, my 5th visit, and I'm excited about it. And you're going to have a great experience. And again, it's not America. You'll find out it's a different world. For those of you who've never been outside of America, and there are a few of you who've never left the country, I found out. So just allow the experience to flow.
Exactly. Now, very important, we are not going to Saudi Arabia. We are going, actually, there's a possibility that we might go to the border of Saudi Arabia so you can take some pictures in the border, which is an interesting experience. That is, of course, off to Ali. I mean, Bahrain is just bordering Saudi Arabia, so it's a possibility, but we're not going to get in the country. Now, why am I telling you this? Because we are going to Dubai, and you can see here, those are the colors of Dubai. Now, why am I telling you this? Because apparently everybody's freaking out because of the dress code. So I'm going to be covering that part now. Now, let's start with the guys. Let's just follow some simple rules. I mean, you don't have to be afraid or, oh my goodness, am I dressed correctly, or this is going to be good or this is going to be bad. Just simple rules that you need to take into consideration. Please, you're allowed to wear shorts, it's fine, but it's always preferred that you're wearing a polo shirt. Okay, it looks always a lot nicer. If you have shoes, you can also wear sandals. But don't be like if you're going to the gym, because that's not going to be working out very nicely. And don't look like shabby. I mean, we're going to be going to classy places, and of course, we want to be looking as professionals. That's as simple as it is. So what I recommend for you guys to pack? Well, very simple. We're going to have some casual stuff. We're going to have some business casual stuff. We're going to have some business stuff, possibly even some formal stuff. So just pack to yourself. I mean, you don't have to be overly dressed or anything like that. I mean, it's very friendly. I mean, it's like Singapore, it's like Hong Kong. You don't have to be overly afraid of what you're going to be wearing. Okay? Now, they say, well, do I have to be covered? Well, just simply reflect your respect. Once again, tank top shirts are not really liked there. For ladies, very important, don't wear a mini skirt, and I'm going to tell you specifically why not. It is not because you're going to offend Allah or anything like that. I mean, it has nothing to do with religion. I tell you specifically in a moment why you want to be dressed modestly. That's the word. Dress modestly. Okay, don't wear big cleavage, because of course that's going to attract exactly what I'm going to be telling you in a minute. Let me just show you some pictures so that you have an idea of how Dubai is. You can be in the beach and you're going to find girls with absolutely skimpy bikinis over there, but also you're going to find girls which are completely covered, and also you're going to find girls which are completely dressed. That's the bathing suit of the people in the UAE. They're not dressed like that. That's their bathing suit. Those ladies there. So as you can see, Dubai is a land of cultural contrasts. It will not be strange to see these kind of pictures. They are there. It happened. They happen all the time. So let me tell you the reason why you have to dress modestly. It has nothing to do with religion. It has nothing to do with culture. It has nothing to do with anything. We are going to one of the most polycultural places in the world. The real reason why you should dress conservatively is because in some areas in Dubai, which we are going to go, you're going to encounter men looking at you like this. Walls of men staring at you, staring at your ass, staring at your boobs, staring at you. I'm saying these words as I should have said bum, but ass, because of course that's just, well, you will remember better. They're going to be looking at you and you're going to feel incredibly uncomfortable. That's the exact reason why I'm telling you that you should dress conservatively. You don't want these guys pitching a tent while you are walking, and this is the reason why this happens.
Oh my God!
I mean, could I be more direct, Mitch? I mean, sorry, but this is a point
that covers it, buddy. Okay.
Exactly. So now, also that brings me to the next point, please. The code of conduct in the Middle East allows no public displays of affection. This is an important thing because this definitely can get you in trouble. So please make sure holding hands is fine, preferably not, but holding hands is fine. No kissing, no, public display of affection. I don't have to explain more about it. Another thing which is very important is you have to be careful with alcohol consumption. It's okay to have a drink here and a drink there, whatever, but if you become inebriated, you can also get yourself in trouble. You will end up in jail, and we cannot help you. So please do not get drunk. Also, I mean, obviously, don't even think about bringing any recreational drug or anything like that, because if you're caught in the airport, yeah, that's the end of it. So, I mean, that's just a no-go. So be careful with your alcohol consumption. Just be have a drink, enjoy, have a good time, but just don't go over the top. That's an important thing. Another thing that I want to mention just quickly is that a lot of people think that it is just the burqa. The burqa, that's a burqa. You're going to see some people with a burqa, but I want you to know the difference so that you don't tell people, oh, well, the burqa. What you're going to see people are wearing abayas. Abaya is the word that they use there, and that's what they use. Sometimes they use the chandor, some of them with the niqab, but mainly it's important that you understand what is one thing and what is the other. So you're going to see a ton of people wearing an abaya, and also you're going to see a ton of people wearing a dish dash everywhere. You're going to see them all over the place. It's fine to take pictures as long as you ask or be with them, and even in the event, you're going to have the chance to have pictures taken with people with abayas and people with also, if you want, you can buy yourself a custom. Mitch and I have one. We wear it. You should not wear it in Dubai, because of course that's not really properly seen. But of course, I mean, if you want to take it home, they are available for sale, and there's absolutely not a problem. Now, the very last thing that I want to share with you is that, as I was mentioning earlier, we are going to have a cultural orientation where I will explain you everything about Islam. I will explain you everything that I know about the Middle East from the point of view of a Westerner, so that you will understand. I mean, I tell you, I love the Middle East. You have no clue. I mean, me and my wife are absolutely in love with that part of the world because we understand it. And I can guarantee you that you are going to become absolutely in love with Dubai. This is going to be your first of many visits in your life, because you're going to love it beyond any expectation. So I'm going to help you through the process by explaining you about absolutely everything that you need to do, learn about the Middle East, Islam, culture, everything. And feel free to ask me any question, because I am very well read on that part of the world. I know very well the culture. I know very well how everything works. I mean, I have the only thing that I have not done is, because I'm not Muslim, I have not gone to Mecca. But besides, I have done everything. Mitch, you spent also a good part of your summer last year in the middle of the mountains in Pakistan, living with Islamic people. So you also know a thing or two about it. You read the Quran, so have I. So I can explain to you any question that you have. Feel free to ask, because 95% sure me or Mitch will be able to answer it, and if not, we will find somebody that will. And with that, we finish our presentation. I hope that you found it interesting and that you're really excited about this. And now I think it's a good idea if we actually open it for questions. We open it for questions. So let's. I would love to have the questions recorded, so you can open your microphones. I'm going to take away the little hands, and if you have questions, please ask them now. This is the last chance that we have for questions, because after Mitch and I are traveling, it's going to be very difficult for us to be answering questions. So this is your chance. So we have a question from Hilda. Tell us, Hildita, how are you?
I'm doing good. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you.
Muy bien. Hablas muy bien el inglés.
Ay, qué bueno. My question is, I would like to be able to bring my supplements with me, and for other people, I have written physician letters for them that they'll be carrying supplements. Do I need to get a physician friend of mine to write a letter for me, or do you think that it'll be okay to bring my supplements?
Do it. Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get the physician letter, or just bring
the physician letter. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would cover yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you're better safe than sorry. I mean, right now, also, for example, I went to notarize a couple of things because my wife is traveling with my kids on her own, and I want to make sure that everything. I mean, you need to be 100% sure that you're not going to have anything. So anything that might be questionable, make sure that you have it. Be always prepared.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you for your question, Hilda. Let me see, Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. Tell me.
Yes, this has been a very good presentation. Thank you for all the explanation. Now, and you said we can pay something somewhere. How do we make payment so that they can be part of the fun, if you want the fun part or the serious part? How do we make that payment? My second question is, how do I get in contact with the Elite Residence Hotel to confirm my reservation? Yeah,
just get in touch with Ali for the elite reservation, and payments are very easy. I mean, one thing which you will find in Dubai, I mean, you can pay with dollars, you can pay with euros, you can pay with dirhams. I mean, it's much better, of course, if you pay with dirhams, because of course, I mean, it will be the right rate. If you go and pay with dollars in a shop, then they give you a different rate. So that's why it's always good to have some local money in your purse. But I mean, it's very easy to pay absolutely everything. You will have absolutely no problems. Okay.
So do we pay for our guests when we get there, or before we go?
For what?
I mean, to buy the ticket for the. In the information you sent us, you said we can get a ticket for the guest for $750 to be able to attend some of the fun programs.
Do you have a guest?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So in that case,
yes.
Send me a private message by Facebook, and we'll get it sorted.
Okay. All right. Great.
All right then. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. We have any other questions? We have John. John, how are you?
Good, Ernesto. How are you?
Fine. How was the presentation?
Oh, you guys did a fantastic job. Incredibly informative, and you answered a ton of my questions.
Awesome. That was the idea of this session.
Mission accomplished.
Thank you.
Here's my question. It's about the photo shoot day. Comment was you may want to bring a couple of changes of clothes. For a man, maybe even for a woman, what would you recommend? Like multiple suits or different shirts with the suits, casual? What do you recommend? Because I, for one, am interested in getting as many of those photos for myself personally. That's
Yeah,
ideal.
I'm going to comment here. I would have a change of shirt for sure and a change of tie, John, because that'll look like you're at different events where you're
Okay.
being photographed. So I would have 2 to 3 ties and 2 to 3 shirts, possibly. And if you have a second suit, I would use that. I'm going to bring one suit just as an example, and then I will have a blue blazer, and I will change out with a different pair of pants.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's also a very important question because, for example, I mean, I was talking yesterday to Tom, and he was asking me, he was telling me, well, do we have to be in a suit for the pictures? Well, it depends. I mean, for him, for example, his lifestyle is casual, so you don't want to be in a suit if you're, or for example, Brian is the surfer dude. So, I mean, it will look possibly not the right thing for his marketing. So that's you need to see what suits you and what's the image that you want to represent. I mean, everything that Joel has been covering, it's incredibly valid, and of course, it's perfectly on the dot. But obviously, I mean, that's just his recommendation, and that's just for his market. But you have to actually make the decision yourself. So, I mean, I in my case, for example, I'm going to have some pictures which are smart casual and some pictures which are with suit.
Okay, and then the second part, and this is more an aesthetic thing, are there going to be recommended suit colors for those photos?
Have you seen the video from Nikki and Candela?
Yeah, it was all dark suits, and I have one dark suit, but I'm not sure how it's going to look on camera. So I've got a couple of others that I'm looking at.
Well, just bring them along, and then I mean you can ask the photographer. I mean, I'm not the best person possibly to answer that question, but normally dark looks fine. We're going to have a white background, so I think you'll be fine.
Okay, perfect. That was it for me. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye. Let's see. Do we have any other hands? So we have covered Elizabeth. We have covered John. We have Nikki. Nikki, Nikki, you're blocked. Oh yeah, there you go. Nikki, tell me.
Hi, you guys have done wonderful so far, and thank you so much for all the information you guys have given. As a newbie, it's just been so valuable for me. My question to do with dress is, if I have a nice long dress that covers my cleavage, but shows my shoulder with, say, shoestring straps, is that acceptable, or would I need to wear a scarf?
With a suit? Are you meaning for the pictures or for the speaking or for what?
Just in general.
Well, I would suggest don't use any tank tops that show cleavage because, I mean, once again, it's not religious. You're going to have a wall of men looking at you. I mean, you're a very pretty lady, so I can guarantee you that there's going to be a ton of guys looking.
Now, I wear a lot of long dresses, and they don't show cleavage, but they do show my shoulders. So I was wondering if showing of
shoulders fine. I mean, cleavage is the most important thing.
Great, not a problem. Awesome, thank you.
Super, you're welcome. Let's see, we have Inge all the way from Bali. Inge, how are you?
I'm good, thank you, Ernesto. And we really appreciate that, Mitch, and you also emphasize on the fact that we just should go with the flow and follow you guys for the week, which we will surely do. I've been living on Bali for 5 years. We know how different things can go in other cultures. So a lot of respect from our side on what you guys are arranging for us. So that being said, could you please give some clarity on what we should wear on stage? Because I get now that it's different what we do for our branding pictures and how we can dress while being in Dubai. But when we speak on stage, for me, for example, I am wearing a blouse with long sleeves and it's buttoned up with a skirt, but do I need to wear stockings as well?
I would recommend you look as conservative as possible. This is my opinion, and it's also probably a function of my age, and you want to err towards the conservative whenever possible.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think, I mean, I'm not sure you actually say conservative, because if you say conservative to me, I think of a librarian. I mean, that's what I think.
No,
So that's,
that isn't what I mean.
That's my perception. That's my perception. So that's not what you mean. Go ahead, Mitch.
Yeah, well, okay. Conservative meaning you wear, dark with you're covering up. You are wearing stockings versus bare legs, and you have closed-toe shoes versus open-toe. And that's what I mean by looking. So no one is distracted. The whole point of speaking on stage is for them not to be focusing on your clothing, but to look at your face and to listen to your message. And if they're distracted by anything these are little points that I've read, and I'm a big reader on what works. And you don't want anybody looking at a fancy tie. You want to err towards the conservative for the reason of them focusing on your message. I'm there with the expectation of doing business. I'm there about business. So I'm not wearing fancy anything. I don't want anybody looking at my shoes other than to admire that they're perfectly polished. That brings up another point. Make sure your shoes are polished. Scuff marks look scuffy and tacky. Have your nails done. Everything should be in order. This is an experience you're paying for. Be clean, polished. Have your tie hit your belt perfectly, not coming all the way up like you're a Sylvester. Little details like this we're going to go through in the orientation again to make sure, but make sure you have all of your clothes are clean and pressed. Super important that your shoes are shined. Super important. Yeah. I noticed that immediately on men and women. If your shoes aren't shined, I think tacky. And didn't take the time for the details. How are they going to be handling my business?
Exactly.
So I would wear stockings. I would wear closed-toe shoes. I would cover up any cleavage. However you do it, look as conservative as described in Webster's to not be noticeable.
Yeah.
Other than looking classy and elegant. You can look classy and elegant and be conservative.
I think
that's my take on it.
I think you're spot on, Mitch. The only thing that I also want you to change your focus is obviously the audience is going to be there. It's going to be conformed from. There's going to be all sorts of people. We're having all sorts of people coming to both events. But here, the most important thing is that we are recording your demo tape, which is going to be using for your speaking career. So, if you ask, how would you like somebody to look at you? You need to look classy, you need to look professional, and you need to look sharp and spot on. That's the most important thing. I hope that answers.
Okay, that made it very clear, guys. Thank you. I was wondering about one more point. I need to have my clothes pressed.
Yes.
Preferably when I arrive, because they're coming out of a suitcase. And I was wondering, the Novotel, it's possible over there?
Yeah, they will be able to have it, but that might be a little bit more expensive. Around that area where we're staying, Albarcha, it's you will find a laundromat if you want it, and then you can have somebody doing it for you for very inexpensive. So that's.
We're not taking. Yeah, but let me jump in here, Ernesto. We're not taking the branding photographs on Sunday.
No.
That's a different day. So you will have a chance to get an iron from housekeeping if you need to press it. But you even if it costs you a few bucks, you want to look your best for branding day. You want to look like $1 million. You want to hire, and we are in a world. Doesn't matter you living in Bali. I lived in Bali for 8 months. I know the environment there. It's t-shirt, flip-flops, and shorts for the most part. Yeah, I lived in Seminyak, so I know the deal. And
you just described how we are looking at the moment.
We are at the polar opposite of the spectrum. Dubai is the wealthiest city in the world. You're going to find the most beautiful people, most polished, and you're going to sit in judgment. It is the antithesis of the environment and culture of Bali. The absolute antithesis. Make sure your shoes are shined, no sandals, at least, when we're shooting. Look your best. Think of Hong Kong, New York City, and Dubai at that level, looking your best.
Yeah.
Not sexy best, classy best.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's another conversation, okay? We're in Dubai. You want to look great so you can use that to make money. The whole point is profit maximization off of your branding looking impeccable.
Exactly.
My shoes will not have a scuff or a mark on them because I want to represent myself and be perceived at Mitch's 100% excellence. When I lived in Bali, I didn't shave. You know, different deal. But when you're in Dubai, you look 100% your best. Your tie hits your belt perfectly. Your shoes are shine. Your socks, you can't see your legs. I mean, you know, guys, look the part. You don't come in with a sloppy hairdo or nose hair coming out or ear hair. Those are other things. Nose hair, ear hair, having a monobrow. Not cool. Clip your monobrow if you've got one, guys.
Exactly. We're getting here another question from Tom that I hear him laughing in the back. It says, to be sure, does airports have ATMs? There's ATMs everywhere. I mean, you will be amazed. It's just money is available everywhere. I mean, what they want you to do in Dubai is spend. So they're gonna do anything possible for making it easy for you. It's like Las Vegas. I mean, in Las Vegas, you go to the bathroom in the McDonald's and there's an ATM there. Exactly the same in Dubai. There's money available everywhere and anywhere you go.
Oh my, that's an understatement.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
I think we've covered it. Any other questions, Ernesto?
Let me just check quickly. Well, we already took Inge. Yes, we have Dai or D, whatever. Dai, you're covering your mic. You have to unmute yourself, Dai Downey. Okay. Tell us, Dai.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Is it Dai or D?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Dai.
Dai. Okay. Tell
yes,
us.
Thank you. My question.
Dai, I want you to live.
Diana there. We have given Ali some of us have given Ali our email addresses in the Speak to Dubai Facebook group. So now we just wait for Ali to send us the details of how to go and pay for our Bahrain hotel. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's a very good question and very valid. Ali is basically, I mean, the point here is that you have to show up in Bahrain. You can pay there. So I mean, all we want is to make sure that you arrive there. If we have any no-shows, then obviously, I mean, we're gonna get charged. So that has to be covered by you. I mean, whatever it is, if there's a no-show cost, that's Ali's worry. Don't worry, if you put your email, then he has it so that he knows that he needs to get in touch with you. So there's not really too much of an issue there. So don't worry too much.
Yes.
All right?
Okay, so we don't have to actually do anything or look for an email from Ali at this point.
No. Don't worry about it.
No. No, that's great. Thank you very much. You did a great job of covering all those points and all my questions. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Perfect. Well, let me just see if we have any other questions. We have. No, I think we have covered everything. Speaking of facial hair. No, you're fine. You're fine, Brian. You're gonna see a lot of people with huge beards. I mean, some beards which go.
I said nose hairs.
Sorry?
Yeah, I said nose hairs, monobrow, and ear hairs.
Oh, okay. But anyway, he's asking me because the thing is, he has a huge beard. I do not know if that's part of his look. He's fine. You're fine. Don't worry.
That's fine.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. I think we just are covering the 2 hours now. We did not really allocate that it was going to be taking 2 hours. But anyway, we wanted to make sure that you got every single question answered. So I want to be.
And Ernesto,
yes.
Yeah, we can always be asked. They can always ask us questions if something hits them on the Facebook group. That's what it's there for. We'll answer promptly, either Ernesto or I.
Exactly. So I think we have covered everything. So we are just exactly reaching the 2 hours. So once again, guys, I thank you very much. I look forward to seeing you in Dubai very, very soon. If you want, I mean, make sure that you also download this presentation so that you can also watch it again if you need to watch it again. We're going to go over many of these points also throughout the
and the orientation. We're going to go in more detail.
Yeah. Awesome.
Okay.
So,
all right, guys, thank you very much. We look forward to meeting you all and having a fantastic experience in Dubai.